class response.
Good morning, Major General Lusk, Brigadier General Gorham, Colonel Byrd, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, VIPs, and fellow members of Class 5-4 and Accelerating Class 2-2. I remember the last time I sat in this room 1 year ago. My classmates and I had just returned from Phase 1, and we were only 2 drills into Phase 2. Not even a quarter of a way through the OCS program. As I sat here, enjoying the air conditioning, and listening to the president of Class 5-3 give his speech, I distinctly remember being grateful for 2 things. First, I was grateful for the fact that as long as we were in our Class A uniforms, the tax would probably not be making us do push-ups or low crawl through the sand pit. Second, I was grateful that I was not our class president, and therefore would not have to deliver a speech at our graduation. Things have certainly changed during the past year. For those unfamiliar with the OCS program, our training lasts for well over a year. Under the ever-watchful eyes of our instructors as well as our TAC officers and NCOs. TAC stands for Teach, Assess, Counsel. During the past year, our TACs and instructors taught us many valuable things such as troop leading procedures, operations orders, and tactics. They also assessed our leadership abilities and found creative ways to counsel us. Class 5-4 was truly blessed to have such a talented instructor and TAC staff. It is only in hindsight that we can appreciate the long and painful nights of cumulative hours of sweating. Standing here today, it is clear to us that there has always been a lesson to be learned. One lesson in particular sticks out of my mind the most. It was early fall, and winter was fast approaching. Our class had lost the privilege of sleeping in the barracks, and we were determined to get it back before it got cold. The training schedule called for a lesson in tactics. However, we had the brilliant idea to request that our TAC staff conduct a barracks inspection instead. As you can probably imagine, this did not end well for us. Several hours later, muddy, tired, cold, and wet, patiently waiting for a fellow candidate to stop asking questions so we could change clothes and rack out, we learned the lesson that sleeping outside in a warm, dry sleeping bag, even in the winter months, is not that bad. Over the past year, our class shared in many lessons such as that one. While it was painful at the time, it was moments like those that helped to bring our class closer together and grow as a team. The Class 5-4 graduating today is very different from the Class 5-4 that sat here a year ago. Our numbers have been refined from 42 to 17. A year ago, we were only a random collection of soldiers. Most of us had no prior military experience, but we shared a common goal of becoming leaders in the North Carolina Army National Guard. We would meet here at Fort Bragg once a month, knowing very little about each other, and having only the slightest understanding of what it truly means to be a leader. Our understanding of leadership and our proficiency as leaders grew, so too did our understanding and familiarity with each other. Over the course of a year, we've grown from barely knowing each other's names to spending time between drills and fellowship, meeting each other's families, sharing the good times, and supporting each other through the difficult times. During OCS, 4 of us have witnessed the birth of a new child, and we have also endured the tragedy of the loss of a loved one. For all these events, we have built the bonds that will be with us throughout our service as officers. While our time at OCS may finally be complete, our journey to becoming leaders and proficient officers is only just beginning. We will now move on to Bullet, where we will learn the details of our individual jobs. Our path will then take us to our units, where we will continue to learn from the collective experience of our NCOs and fellow officers. Finally, after years of development, we hope to complete our training as leaders by passing on our experiences to the next generation of officers. I'd like to take a moment to recognize OCS Class 5-5. I believe that good leaders give those following them the tools to not only meet but exceed the standards set. Our class motto is set the standard. Class 5-5, I challenge you to build on our successes, learn from our mistakes, and exceed our standard. In doing so, encourage each future class to always raise the bar higher improving the team, and creating better officers with each subsequent generation. In closing, I would like to acknowledge our families and close friends. You have provided the strength and support we needed to complete the program. At some point, all of us doubted ourselves and asked the question, can I make it to the end? It was often your encouragement that helped us regain our focus and find the strength to continue on. To my family and those of my fellow classmates, thank you.